If buyers know that the home loan you have on your house could save them a lot of money if they are able to assume it, there's going to be more eyes looking at your property. That's going to increase the potential buyer pool for your house. In turn, that's going to increase the value of your house when you try to resell. Hello, my name is Wesley Meyer. I am a realtor here in the Nashville area with eXp Realty. I help people just like you in the Nashville area find their dream homes or sell their current houses. If you're a first-time home buyer, I have a free first-time home buyer consultation with myself and my team. You can follow the link in the description to sign up for that. And if you or anyone you know is looking to buy or sell a home here, please reach out to me. My personal contact info is in the description of this video. Assumable mortgages. Assumable mortgages are an increasingly popular topic in the real estate world, and for good reason. They have a potential to save a buyer loads of money on a new home purchase, and they can also be used to market your home if you're a seller. If you're unfamiliar about assumable mortgages, stay tuned. I'm going to explain everything and how they could be of value to you as a buyer or a seller. So let's dive in. What do I mean by assumable mortgage? So an assumable mortgage is a loan on a house that can be assumed by a buyer. So say you want to purchase a house. If there's an assumable mortgage in place on that house currently, you as a buyer can step into the place of a homeowner and take over their current loan at their old interest rate. So let's talk about the main types of loans that are assumable mortgages. First off, and this is what you're going to see the most of, this is an FHA loan. FHA loans are a type of loan that are insured by the Federal Housing Administration. FHA loans are always assumable. So you are able to take over an existing FHA mortgage on a home, assuming you can qualify with the lender. FHA loans can be particularly helpful if the buyer doesn't have an incredibly high credit score or a large down payment. The second main type of loan that is assumable is a VA loan. VA loan is a loan that's backed by the Department of Veteran Affairs. Initially, the loans are only for active or retired veterans, but a VA loan can be assumed by anyone, even if they are not in the armed forces. These are less common than FHA loans, and there are a little bit more stipulations to be able to assume these types of loans, but it is possible. This means if a veteran is selling their home and they have a VA loan in place, you have the potential to assume their current loan. All right, so those are the two major types of loans that are assumable. Let's go over the pros and cons of assumable loans. First up are the pros. The first benefit of an assumable loan is the interest rate. So, as you've probably heard, that's dominating the news cycles, interest rates are continuing to go up and up and up. Just 2 days ago, I read an article. The average interest rate for a 30-year fixed mortgage in America is 7.5%. Very high compared to what it's been over the past 5 to 7 years. That is keeping a lot of buyers on the sidelines. They can't afford a home at the current interest rate, but an assumable mortgage could help you with that. If the original mortgage that you would be assuming has a low interest rate, you can assume that interest rate and pay way less interest over the life of the loan as opposed to current interest rates. The buyer can enjoy lower monthly payments. According to Redfin, 82% of American homeowners have a mortgage that's under 5%, 62% have a mortgage that's under 4%, and almost a quarter of all homeowners, 23.5% of all homeowners in the US have an interest rate under 3%. Those interest rates compared to current interest rates, 7.5%, that could save you hundreds of thousands over the course of the loan if you were able to assume their mortgage at that old interest rate. That difference in interest rate is huge when you look at the amount of money you'd be saving even on your monthly payment, making home ownership a more affordable option than it is right now with current interest rates. Another benefit of an assumable mortgage is you have lower closing costs because you're not starting a new loan from scratch. You're assuming someone else's loan, so there are less hoops to jump through, less work for the lender, which equals less closing costs for you. Another good thing for sellers is that having an assumable mortgage can be a really good marketing tool if you're looking to sell your home. Say you have an FHA home loan. That mortgage that you're carrying on the house now becomes a marketing tool for your agent to use. If buyers know that the home loan you have on your house could save them a lot of money if they are able to assume it, there's going to be more eyes looking at your property. That's going to increase the potential buyer pool for your house. In turn, that's going to increase the value of your house when you try to resell. All right, with anything, there is always a downside. So let's talk about that. There can be qualification challenges. While assumable mortgages can be beneficial, buyers still need to maintain certain credit scores and income to qualify to assume a loan. This next one is the biggest hurdle that most home buyers will face when trying to assume a mortgage, and that is cash to close. Depending on how much equity the seller has in their home, they're going to want that money back when they sell it. That's the whole point of selling a house, is you get the amount of equity that you have in the house in cash when you close in the house. When you assume a loan, you're not paying any money. You're just assuming the loan they have, and they're letting you own the house. So in order to make it worth it for the seller, the buyer will need somehow to come up with money to cover the equity that the seller had in the home. This can be done a couple of ways. Usually it's done just with cash. If you're going to be doing this, you need to have a lot of cash on hand. The buyer will likely need to bring as much cash to the closing table as the seller has in equity on the home. However, if you don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars laying around to cover that equity cost, you can take out a loan to cover that cost. If you're comfortable taking out a second mortgage on the home, this is a viable option for you, so you don't have to spend $50,000 or $100,000 out of pocket to take over their loan. If the seller recently purchased the house and is trying to resell it again, they may not have that much equity in the home. That's a best case scenario. It's less money out of pocket, but you're still assuming a mortgage that has a lower interest rate than there are currently. Another con is you are kind of locked into the existing loan terms. A buyer might be assuming loan terms that are less than desirable in the current market, especially if the original owner has a higher interest rate. The whole point of this is to save you money on interest. So if you're looking to assume a mortgage and the mortgage you're assuming has a higher interest rate, just don't do it. Just start your own mortgage from scratch. Another con is there is still some liability on the seller if the buyer does default on the loan. A seller might still be held liable if the buyer defaults, and it could affect their credit score. The last thing is limited inventory. So there are a select few of loans of homeowners who have assumable mortgages, and of those, there are even a more select few that would be willing to go through the process of having a buyer assume their loan. So trying to find a property with an assumable mortgage might limit your choices. So those are the cons. My advice, if you're wanting to delve more into assumable mortgages, talk to a mortgage professional. And there you have it. There's a breakdown of assumable mortgages, how they can benefit you, things to look out for. But ultimately, assumable mortgages are a really, really powerful tool in today's market, especially with how high our interest rates are and how low interest rates were just a couple years ago. If you want to find out more, please reach out to me, but better yet, reach out to a mortgage professional. They do this for a living. They're going to be able to walk you through your specific situation to see if an assumable mortgage is even possible for you, two, going to be beneficial for you. My advice, if you're home shopping right now and want to try to get an assumable mortgage, don't look for a house specifically for an assumable mortgage. Assumable mortgage situations are going to be very case by case, seller by seller, buyer by buyer. So really, it may not be beneficial for everyone. It's a case by case scenario, but it's good to be educated on your options, so if the opportunity does arise, you're ready to take action. And that's it for this video. I hope you learned something. I love making these for you. If you have any video ideas that you'd like to see, please leave those in the comments. Again, my name is Wesley Meyer. I'm a realtor here in Nashville. If you or anyone you know is looking to buy or sell a home in the area, please reach out to me. My contact info will be in the description. And as always, I have a first-time home buyer consultation. If you want to learn more about assumable mortgages, if you want to learn about FHA home loan programs, anything like that, please sign up for my first-time home buyer consultation. Link is in the description. If you do want to get in contact with a mortgage professional, reach out to me. I know several really talented, really great mortgage professionals here in the area. Reach out to me, I'll introduce you to them. But until next time, I'm Wesley Meyer. Have a good one.